general thoughts first off?
I thought we did all right. We played a lot of young players. In essence, I don't know how many guys got their first MLS start today. There's a number of guys, 4 guys who probably, if you added all 4 guys up, only have like about 200 minutes in the league, and so a lot of youth out there. So we wanted to play well defensively. Stefan Frei kept us in the game with the penalty kick save. I thought we did all right defensively. We were too loose on the goal, obviously. And then we had some chances at the other end, but final passes, the final play, makes it difficult. So with all the players that we're missing, the difficult part is we also don't have a chance to train. If we had the same amount of injuries and everything else, but we could train with this group for a week, then maybe things would be a little different. But we're playing without a lot of important veteran players, and at the same token, we haven't had getting a chance to train either.
Of those guys that are out with injury and that didn't travel, are there guys that it would have been a different case with just taking a knock that maybe you recover from in a week, but you don't recover from in 3 or 4 days? Would this have looked like a different lineup, and if it had just been Saturday to Saturday? Or?
No. We've had guys out for a long time. I mean, Obafemi's out for a while. Clint Dempsey gets suspended. Chad Barrett's been out for a while with a hamstring injury. Ozzy Alonso's been out for a while. Leo Gonzalez, is out right now as well. So when you add all that up, it's a significant group of players.
What you make of Jimmy Ockford's?
Out of the 3 players getting their first start and the other young guys, was there anyone that stood out to you in particular?
I mean, I thought they all did all right. I thought O'Neal Fisher played well, at outside back. We moved him over to the left when we went to 3 in the back. I thought Christian Roldan continues to play well for us also. So those guys have been all right. Jimmy Ockford had his first start. We weren't sure if he could play 90 minutes, because he's been out for a month. He played his first 60 minutes back last week, so he hasn't really been in that groove, and I thought he did all right.
How do you balance kind of, the expectation of what these guys should be expected to do in their first time through, and obviously, there's going to be growing pains with the reality that you're pursuing the conference lead, you're pursuing possibly a supporter shield, and every point being important.
If you put a young player out on the field next to a veteran player, it's a lot easier for the young player. Okay, and Lamar Nagel has been a dangerous player for us when he's on the field with a Dempsey or a Martins. But now when he has to lead the front line and there's not those other guys to take pressure off him, it's a little more difficult for him. Does he have that quality? And for sure, if you put a young player out with a veteran player, it makes it easier for the young player. When you put young players next to each other, there's growing pains, and there's going to be mistakes of youth and of inexperience. And we talked about those a little bit after the game in terms of, okay, these are things that we have to learn. But again, if we had the ability to train for a week, then things change a little bit as well.
Bringing Chad Marshall in at forward, what were you hoping he'd provide?
We just, we've hoped that, which he did a few times, he was able to flick balls on, cause some danger. We also wanted to get some set pieces, like right at the end of the game, Marco Papa just banged the ball off the guy and get a corner kick. We'd rather have that than, have the game end with him trying to screen the ball. So those are all little errors, and so Chad flicked on a few balls for us. He was a target, but that's not how we normally play. So again, not being able to train on any of that makes it difficult for the team, and it's so against our normal style that our guys really don't know how to play that way sometimes.
Have you ever used him at that position before when you guys were at Columbus?
No, I don't know. Probably at Columbus we pushed him up at the end of the game a few times, yeah.
I know you haven't seen it on film, obviously, but take me through what you saw on the goal.
We gave too much space on the cross. That deep in the field, you got to get tighter to the crosser of the ball. And then obviously, I don't know if it was Ockford or Scott, somebody lost their mark inside the box, and I thought our line was too deep. We can't be that deep at that stage.
Your thoughts on Stefan Frei and his big PK save?
I thought Stefan's played well. He made the PK save, but he also made another save that kept us in the game as well. He's been a rock for us back there.
Zach Drapkin from Battle.com. How did your attacking game plan change with all the absences in the front lines, with Dempsey suspended, Martin's injured, and Barrett injured?
Well, we only have one forward, so it changes your attacking plan. So you got to play one forward, and we're playing with 6 midfielders, or 5 midfielders in essence. So we're asking Marco Papa to play a different role and play underneath the striker. does he get high enough? He's not always comfortable in that role. You know, Nagel's played every minute of every game for us in this run because we haven't had any other forwards. So, you know, in fairness to Lamar, he's dead on his feet right now. You know, we don't have Barrett, we don't have you know, we don't have Martins, we don't have Dempsey, obviously, and that's a lot of quality to be missing.